Today.
Weather the miserable market. We'll take a closer look. The raging inferno, 100,000 acres on fire and many homes in the path of the flames. Kidnapped and murdered. The case against the man accused of killing the 5-year-old girl. Will prosecutors seek the death penalty? And animal psychology. Is your dog depressed? New ways to figure out what's on their minds.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Sitting in tonight, Charles Gibson.
Good evening. Wall Street today, definitely not for the faint of heart. Just take a look at the market's gyrations hour by hour. A slight drop at the opening, then stocks moved up almost 100 points on the Dow. Less than 3 hours later, the market had fallen 300 points. 2 hours later, it recovered the 300 points and was again in positive territory. But at the end, another nosedive. The market closing down 234 points. It is the lowest close for the Dow since October 1998, since the day Congress announced it was launching an impeachment investigation against President Clinton. The NASDAQ closed off 36 points, its lowest close since 1997. Said one analyst, it is a pitiful market selling on fear. ABC's Dan Harris has been on Wall Street throughout the day. Dan?
Charlie, one trader told me today volatility has now become the rule rather than the exception. Everyone here on Wall Street is trying to figure out where is the bottom, and almost no one is ready to say we've reached it yet. This jagged, jumpy day was another tough one for investors to watch. The convulsions were driven, traders say, by a variety of factors, both rational and irrational. The rational concerns included WorldCom's filing for bankruptcy protection, the largest such filing in U.S. history, and reports that Congress is investigating 2 large banks, J.P. Morgan and Citigroup, for their financial connections to that other major bankruptcy, Enron. The irrational, a seemingly incurable case of negativity.
The market's at the greatest disconnect that any of us have ever seen in terms of an economy that's actually doing relatively well and a market doing absolutely awful.
How awful? In the last 9 weeks, investors have pulled a record $29 billion out of U.S. stock funds. That is the largest round of withdrawals since the period after the 1987 stock crash, larger than the days after the September attacks. Glenn and Nancy Stevick of Pittman, New Jersey, sold out of the market last week after watching the $80,000 they had saved up for their kids' college education be cut in half.
I actually kind of felt like I was having a nervous breakdown last week, but I pulled myself together, and, there's things in life that are more important than this.
Today, many on Wall Street were saying this stock slide, however wrenching, is actually necessary and healthy, that it's only after a frenzied, cleansing round of panic selling that bargain hunters will swoop in and create a real, lasting rally.
The precondition for ending the bear market will be capitulation, disgust, despair, and a giving up on the part of investors.
However, many of those who subscribe to this panic selling theory say even though things are bad now, they're not bad enough to constitute a bona fide bottom, that in effect things need to get worse before they can get better. However, it's worth remembering that this is just a theory and not everyone agrees with it. Charlie?
All right, thanks very much, Dan. In the midst of today's ups and downs, the president did what he could to help. ABC's Terry Moran was traveling with Mr. Bush and his return tonight to the White House. Terry?
Well, Charlie, the president tried something new today. After weeks of cheerleading for the economy in an effort to reassure investors, today he gave them some advice.
At first, Mr. Bush said he has no interest in advising investors.
Well, I'm not a stockbroker or a stock picker.
But then, while touring Illinois' Argonne National Laboratory to promote his Homeland Security plans, the president sent a couple of clear signals to investors. First, diversify.
Secondly, I fully understand some have diversified into bonds. And for those who have, their portfolios are better than those who've stayed only in equity.
Second, Mr. Bush echoed some traditional business school wisdom. In a bear market, look for bargains.
People will be buying in the market based upon the value. And what's happening is corporate earnings are improving, and so that the price-earnings ratios are improving. And I believe people are going to come back into the market.
The failure of American investors to do that yet has put a lot of political pressure on Mr. Bush, and he can't do much about it.
The president is commander-in-chief of the military. He can make things happen by his command. He's not commander-in-chief of the economy or of the markets, and he just doesn't have as much influence over either of those.
The president also offered a spirited defense of his embattled Treasury Secretary Paul O'Neill. There are a lot of people in Wall Street and in Washington calling for his head, but Mr. Bush is sticking by him, saying today, Charlie, that he hopes all those who are blaming Mr. O'Neill for the market's downturn give him credit should things turn around.
All right, thanks. Terry Moran at the White House. And as Terry mentioned, the president has now given his advice on the markets. A little bit later in the broadcast, we'll take a closer look at 5 important ways you can protect yourself in a stock slump. Well, one of the reasons, of course, the market suffered today was the bankruptcy filing of WorldCom. That company has an impact on so many facets of American life and has an impact on so many people as well. So what will the bankruptcy filing mean? ABC's John Yang is in Washington tonight. John, number one, WorldCom handles about half the world's internet traffic. Will there be disruption on the internet?
Charlie, WorldCom says no, service will continue, but some big corporate clients are looking for alternatives just in case.
Number two, their subsidiary, MCI, has about 20 million phone customers. Might they lose their carrier?
Once again, the company says no, but the Federal Communications Commission says they'll be watching just to make sure.
There's another issue, of course, which involves the phone issue, and that is the fact that there are some now other phone companies, local phone companies, are saying they may have to raise their rates because of what's happened here. Why would other companies be raising rates?
It's because MCI owes those local companies hundreds of millions of dollars in fees for connecting the local subscribers to MCI's long-distance network. And the local get it from the customers.
And finally, there's a lot of MCI employees, or WorldCom employees, I should say, who are now going to lose their jobs. About 17,000, we understand. Might they lose their severance because the company's filed for bankruptcy?
It's a distinct possibility. They now become creditors like everybody else. They get in a long line to wait for money. They're behind the big banks. They're behind those local phone companies, and they are well back.
All right, thanks. John Yang running down some of the questions involved with the WorldCom bankruptcy filing. By the way, Attorney General John Ashcroft today asked that an independent examiner be appointed to make sure WorldCom documents don't get destroyed. And in a real irony, WorldCom stock soared today. If you think in proportions, it was up almost 56% to close at 14 cents a share. Of course, it was over $60 3 years ago, and there's going to be more about WorldCom's problems later this evening on Nightline. In the national briefing tonight, the governor of California has signed a law allowing the state to create new and stronger vehicle emissions standards than the federal government's. Automakers oppose the measure. They say it will increase the price of new cars in California. And an acquaintance of Zacarias Moussaoui pleaded guilty in a New York court today to charges he lied to investigators. Hussein Al-Atas admits he knew Moussaoui wanted to participate in jihad and planned to go to New York last August. Al-Atas says he had no knowledge of the plans for September 11th and will cooperate with the government's ongoing investigation. In the Northwest, firefighters are trying to contain flames threatening hundreds of homes. Across the country, more than 400,000 acres are on fire tonight, adding to more than 3.5 million acres already in ashes. Few places are under as much pressure as Paisley, Oregon, where 2 giant fires are closing in, and ABC's Neil Karlinski reports from there.
Firefighters are battling some of the toughest weather conditions in the West in a generation.
It was probably some of the most probably horrific fire behavior that anybody has seen. We haven't been able to compare it with anything that we've had in the past.
In Oregon alone, 25 fires are burning more than 200,000 acres. The Oregon National Guard arrived today to help battle the region's largest fires, now burning near Paisley. Retirees Don Napier and his wife lost every bit of property they own, except their house.
We're glad to have the house, and I can't tell you what it feels like to be in your 60s and have 80% of your net worth disappear in 10 minutes.
Go Dicks. Judy Napier spent today tending to one of the couple's horses, injured fleeing the fast-moving fire. In Central California, 2 wildfires damaged about a dozen homes while forcing many evacuations. While in Washington state, 200 homeowners have been told to evacuate. Several small cabins have already been destroyed. Robert Campbell watched the fire burn right up to his house.
Basically, I was surrounded on 4 sides by fire.
He was lucky. the fire missed him. Forecasters say things may soon get worse. The Pacific Northwest is about to be hit by a storm system bringing in what forecasters call dry thunderstorms.
And the fuels being very dry, this is where the fires get started by the lightning.
Firefighters from Oregon to Washington, already stretched thin from the most severe fire season in decades, are bracing for what could be a tough week ahead. Neil Karlinski, ABC News, Seattle.
In the overseas briefing, late tonight in the Middle East, an Israeli fighter jet fired a missile at a residential building in the Palestinian city of Gaza, killing at least 10 people, including 4 children. Ambulances have brought dozens of wounded people to hospitals. The head of the military wing of the group Hamas is among the dead. And the government of Afghanistan is calling in American troops to protect President Hamid Karzai. There are said to be specific threats against his life, some of which may come from inside the government. 2 weeks ago, one of his vice presidents was gunned down in the street. And when we come back, the charges are filed against the man suspected of killing Samantha Runyon. Now he could face the death penalty. Shelter from the storm. We'll take a closer look at the top 5 ways to protect your money from the vicious bear market. And speaking with the animals, one woman's special talent for understanding their thoughts and feelings.
She said you should live here. I don't interpret the bark. I don't interpret the body language. It's a consciousness to consciousness and a heart to heart.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Total Cereals.
Hi, grape nuts, please. You know, it'd take 4 bowls of grape nuts to equal the B vitamins in just 1 bowl of Total.
4 bowls. Dig in, Lumpy.
Special K, please. That'd take 16 bowls to equal the zinc in Total.
16 bowls. Eat up, sweetie.
Shredded wheat? 40 bowls to equal the calcium in Total.
40 bowls. Chow down, big boy.
You need Total. It's got a 100% daily value of 12 vitamins and minerals. No other cereal comes close. Total, please.
Total for me. We're out of bowls.
Total Raisin Bran. What are you getting for breakfast?
Do dogs have a sense of humor?
Why does she sleep in the sink?
Does he look like me?
Can he outrun my neighbor's schnauzer? I hate fleas. What's the best flea protection?
Now that I can answer. Frontline Plus. It's the longest lasting, complete flea protection you can get. It not only kills fleas quickly, it also kills their eggs and larvae. It's the best.
Ask your veterinarian about Frontline Plus. For dogs and cats, Frontline is the veterinarian's #1 choice for flea and tick control.
Are Great Danes Danish?
The savings are heating up at the Miracle Ear Hearing Spectacular, our biggest event of the year. Enjoy the sounds of summer with a custom hearing aid from Miracle Ear. Take advantage of 0% financing through November 2002 and special pricing on our most popular digitally programmable hearing aid, only $995. So check your yellow pages or visit any of our 1,000 Miracle Ear locations nationwide, including many in Sears stores. Hurry, sale ends August 3rd.
Love potato salad.
You really outdid yourself.
Very nice. Try my macaroni salad. Ladies!
Irresistible. Best foods at its best.
That's the best foods?
Amazing.
It's the popular new cooking gadget, a turkey fryer. But is it dangerous too? Tomorrow, what you must know before you use one on Good Morning America.
In California today, the man accused of kidnapping and murdering 5-year-old Samantha Runyon made his first court appearance. The judge set no bail, and the prosecution took its first steps toward the option of seeking the death penalty. Here's ABC's David Wright.
Good afternoon, sir. Is your true name Alejandro Avila?
Yes. Flanked by his court-appointed defense lawyer, suspect Alejandro Avila appeared by closed-circuit TV from the jailhouse.
You are charged with murder of Samantha Runyon, and it is alleged that during the commission of the kidnapping, you committed the murder. That is a special circumstance in the case.
The special circumstance allows prosecutors to seek the death penalty.
Anyone who commits an act like this in Orange County will either die in prison of natural causes or will be executed.
I would be extremely surprised if they did not seek the death penalty. And in fact, I think politically, and they are elected, it would be suicidal if they don't.
Officials say hair and fibers gathered at the crime scene will prove Avila was there. There was also an eyewitness to Samantha Runyon's kidnapping, 6-year-old Sarah Ahn.
She said, "Help, tell my grandma." And I did.
It was her detailed description that led to Avila's capture.
Even when you've got an excellent child witness, how she would hold up in court is unknown. How she's going to hold up after multiple interviews is unknown.
Today, the Orange County Sheriff closed down its command post, and authorities cordoned off Runyon's apartment complex, allowing residents only to get through. People in this grief-stricken neighborhood are still on edge, but eager to put this tragedy behind them. David Wright, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And next on the broadcast, surviving the stock market's wild ride. A closer look at 5 ways to weather the storm.
Do you know the warning signs of osteoporosis? Unfortunately, there aren't any. That's why I got a bone density test. It's quick and painless.
Ask your doctor about a bone density test and if Fosamax Once Weekly is right for you. Fosamax Once Weekly is for postmenopausal women at risk for or with osteoporosis. It's proven to help reverse bone loss. You should not use Fosamax if you have certain disorders of the esophagus, are unable to stand or sit upright for 30 minutes, have severe kidney disease or low blood calcium. Use with caution if you have stomach or digestive problems. Stop taking Fosamax and tell your doctor if you develop new or worsening heartburn, difficult or painful swallowing, or chest pain, because these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
Why wait? Ask your doctor about a bone density test.
Fosamax Once Weekly, proven to help reverse bone loss.
Butterball brings you the joys of Turkey Day. Friends and family drop in to bask in the warmth of the season. Celebrate this summer with Butterball turkey on the grill. Tender, juicy, surprisingly simple. Happy Thanks Grilling from Butterball.
Got an itch? Scratching tears up skin. Maximum Strength Lanacane saves your skin from scratching with maximum anti-itch medicine and antibacterial to help kill germs. Lanacane stops the itch, saves your skin.
Diabetes. It's no joke at all. And Louisiana one night, paramedics came sticking me, to test my blood sugar. So I got to be punching my fingers, and this is all I got. These 10 here, this is it. I'm leaving the pain behind me.
New One Touch Ultra requires less blood, so you can test on your arm where it's less painful. Introducing the One Touch Ultra.
I've been waiting for this for 10 years.
Wonderful. Wow. Love potato salad. You really outdid yourself. Very nice. Try my macaroni salad. Fresh from ladies.
Irresistible. Best foods at its best.
Pass the best foods?
Amazing.
Tomorrow, doctors who can't afford to take care of you. Across the country, doctors are leaving their practices. Will your doctor be forced out of business? Watch World News Tonight.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at some strategies for dealing with the miserable stock market. The situation has become so depressing that investors are pulling out billions of dollars just to avoid Wall Street's daily new lows. But is backing out really the right way to go? We have some advice from an expert, as told to ABC's Ned Potter.
Lorena and Daniel Corona went to a financial planner today because their nest egg is making them nervous.
I'm scared for the fact that, we don't know where the market's going, basically.
So we went to talk to Dee Lee, a financial planner who's written several books on managing your money. We asked her for a list of 5 pointers on what to do when the market tanks. Her first words:
don't panic, because if you panic, you're going to sell, and you're going to allow your emotions to override common sense.
Hard as it may be to believe right now, she says stocks have always bounced back.
And the market may go up 500 or 600 or 800 points one day. You may be out of the market when it does that.
Point 2.
Reevaluate your goals for the money. Why were you investing this money? Is it for retirement? Is it for a kid's college education?
Maybe that vacation home will have to wait a few years so you can cover tuition. But maybe the pain will be less if you follow point number 3.
Reevaluate your portfolio, meaning that, you sell some of the losers, maybe you go into different kinds of stocks.
In other words, diversify. People who put all their money in .coms forgot that retail stocks do better in lean times.
In this kind of a market, people still buy toothpaste. They still go to the grocery store. They still eat out.
Point number 4, reevaluate your retirement plans. If you're close to retirement age, you want low-risk investments.
But if you're a young person with 20 years to retirement, you can still remain 60 to 80% in stocks, even in this environment.
Which is why you can take comfort from point 5.
This is a buying opportunity. Good companies have been beaten up really bad. And so, they're on sale right now. And most of us love it when there's a summer clearance. Well, we just got one.
The market will rebound, says Lee. The danger is in being on the sidelines when it does. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
It depends.
5 basic points to remember. Our website, abcnews.com, has some useful financial calculators, which you can use to help decide the risks and benefits of selling or staying in the market. When we come back on the broadcast, if you could talk to the animals, one woman says she can. And in a moment, what she says, they say.
One of the many people.
We used to think they're frequent, persistent heartburn.
It's just plain old heartburn.
But if you've treated your heartburn, changed your diet, and the pain still comes back 2 or more days a week, it could be from acid reflux disease.
And over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Today, there's a purple pill called Nexium from the makers of Prilosec. For many people, 1 prescription Nexium a day means complete
24-hour.
day and night heartburn relief. And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can tell if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and a free trial offer for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with today's purple pill called Nexium.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Working hard or working out, nutrition is important. With Centrum or Centrum Silver, you benefit from what science discovers about how the right multivitamins help unlock energy and strengthen immunity. Centrum and Centrum Silver, always complete from A to Zinc.
Now, the same Caltrate that helps fight bone loss may help your colon too. In a recent study, Caltrate helped reduce the risk of recurrence of colon polyps, a risk factor for colon cancer. The same Caltrate you take for your bones, now for colon health too.
Wonderful. Wow. Love potato salad. You really outdid yourself. Very nice. Try my macaroni salad. Fresh from ladies.
Irresistible. Best foods at its best.
Pass the best foods?
Amazing.
I'm Steve Dunn. Next on K2 News, she disappeared while jogging at a popular Lake Oswego park. Now the evidence and search for a teenage girl. Thousands of monkeys housed at an Oregon primate center, and K2 investigates what happens behind closed doors. And with a sinking stock market, is it time to start investing now? Next.
Finally tonight, talking to animals. Anyone who's ever worked with an animal or owned a pet has had the experience sometime of wondering just what their animal is thinking. Some people make a living claiming they know. ABC's Dean Reynolds reports tonight in the first installment of a series we're going to call Animal Matters.
Oh, my goodness, how is our Stanley?
It's 10 a.m. on a busy workday, and Dr. Kim Ogden has just learned that someone she knows has taken a turn for the worse.
We'll talk to Stanley. We'll find out exactly what he has to say for himself.
This is Stanley, a 20-year-old Asian box turtle whose owner says he seems depressed.
He has not eaten well for about 2 months.
So she's turned to Dr. Ogden, an animal communicator.
He told me I have a big head.
While most of us say things to animals, Dr. Ogden claims animals say things to her.
I will hear from a bird, or I'll hear from a cat, or I'll hear from a squirrel, or I'll hear from a raccoon.
It's hard to know how many people do this because animal communicators are not licensed, but it appears to be growing with websites now and even TV shows on the topic. Ogden, whose degree is in public health, says she's had this knack since childhood, conversing with animals alive or dead, on paper or in person.
Hi, babies.
Ogden's client, Lisa Thompson, has 3 old dogs and a bad conscience.
I'm feeling so guilty about things that have happened with my pets, and before it's too late, I wanted them to know just how much I love them.
Al and Freddie are females, Buster's a male.
Al and I will communicate, and then I'll tell you everything that she says. Okay.
There are itches that can't be scratched and bad backs that need work.
Let me ask him if he... Oh, he said he's actually been waiting for something like that.
Ogden says animals communicate in 3 ways: sending images, thoughts, or feelings.
I don't interpret the bark. I don't interpret the body language. It's a consciousness to consciousness and a heart to heart.
And this summer, Ogden is giving how-to courses.
1, 2, 3.
Come, Rover, come.
Most seem to get what they paid for.
And I actually seem to hear her voice. Yes. Which I...
Interesting, say experts in animal behavior, but no cigar.
If people sort of more as a hobby want to communicate with their animal, I think that's great. They just shouldn't expect too much from it.
Nonetheless, Sarah Von Fremd is acting on Dr. Ogden's talk with Stanley. Cool off the apartment, turn down the stereo, and trim that plant.
He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that.
We hear Stanley's mood is already brightening. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Highland Park, Illinois.
And that is our report on World News tonight. This week on World News, another installment in our Animal Matters series. People grieving for their pets who died. Helping them deal with their loss is another booming industry. The frightening shortage of doctors who can deliver babies and the dangers posed by new high-speed roller coasters. Thousands of people over a few years going to the emergency room. I'm Charles Gibson. Have a good evening for all of us at ABC News. Good night.
ABC's World News Tonight, honored with 9 Emmy nominations. No wonder more Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now traveling to all 50 states in 50 weeks in search of America.
They thought they were alone at the Overlook Hotel, but they're about to discover some guests never leave.
You thought nothing here could hurt you.
Stephen King's The Shining continues tonight on ABC. Parental discretion advised.
Now on K2 News at 6:30, searchers scour the woods looking for a 16-year-old girl who disappeared while jogging at a popular Lake Oswego park. What kind of evidence was left behind? Plus, a dangerous day on the fire front. A helicopter goes down while helping battle flames in southern Oregon. And should monkeys be used for medical experiments? Team 2 investigates inside the cage at Oregon's Regional Primate Research Center.
Live at 6:30, K2 News, the new spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening. Glad you're with us. I'm Steve Dunn.
And I'm Kathy Marshall in tonight for Paul Lindman. First on 2, the search intensifies for a 16-year-old girl.
Helicopters, search dogs, and the FBI are called in. They're looking for Sarah Roberts. Now, the picture here was just given to us by authorities who say she recently dyed her hair black. Sarah went jogging last night at Tryon Creek State Park and never came home. Tryon Creek is located between Terwilliger Boulevard and Boone's Ferry Road near the Lake Oswego-Portland border. The park sprawls across 680 acres of rough terrain. That's a little over 1.5 square miles. A network of paths running beneath the canopy of shade trees attracts bikers, hikers, and picnickers by the thousands, but it also makes it very difficult.
So check out the Chrysler Showcase. With great savings and selection, there's a little something for everyone, and it's all at your Chrysler dealer.
The Pope celebrates World Youth Day on Early Edition starting at 5 a.m.